Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion on this Nectar of Devotion. So my gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us for today's session. So, today is on 20th May 2025, Tuesday. We gathered here to continue our discussion on a detailed studies of Nectar of Devotion. Okay, so without further delay, so let's start our session today. So we start with our invocation. Invoke auspiciousness to all our Guru Varga. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutta Padakalam Sri Gurun Vaishnamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पासाचरिस्तारिणे नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने श्री वर्षभनाविदविदयिताये कृपाब्दये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाद्य श्री रूपनुग भक्तिर श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्री मूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुद्धापसिद्धांत ध्वांतहारिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्य मूर्तये विप्रलंबर संबोधे पादांबुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंदनामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपनुग वराय ते गौरवीर्भव भूमिस्त्वं निडस सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः ओम महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतसे नमः पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्त शक्तिकं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवशारी गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो ओम विष्णुपदे कृष्ण पुत्र श्रीमती जयपता स्वामी नामनी नामाचार्य पदाय नित्य कृपा प्रदाय गौर कदाम पाय that's it. Okay, let me see. Oops, click the wrong one. Why is this? All right, I think all fine. Okay. So we continue our discussion. So did you mark the book? So we are supposed to be on chapter 1. Okay, page 11. We are going to page 11. State perfection achieved. 1:27, if I'm not mistaken. Happiness in Krishna consciousness. Pure devotional Krishna consciousness, highest perfect enlightenment, right? Blazing forest, okay. Then how the Krishna consciousness, furthermore, person engaged in Krishna consciousness, for example. Okay. All right, so we are here. Happiness in Krishna consciousness. Okay. So today we're going to discuss about that. Okay. So this is where we're supposed to go. So the mystic perfection. Okay. So just to let's recap yesterday what we discussed. So we were talking about tantras in the tantra sastra. Okay. Lord Shiva spoke to his wife Sakti in this way. He said, "My dear wife, a person who is surrendered himself, okay, the person who has surrendered himself to the lotus feet of Govinda and who has developed the pure Krishna consciousness can be very easily awarded with the perfection desired by the impersonalists. And beyond this, he can enjoy happiness achieved by the pure devotees. So happiness derived from pure devotional service is the highest. Okay, the happiness that we get it from devotional service, or especially from pure devotional service. It is the highest because you know why? It is eternal. Okay, we remember reading in this book, what they call Bhakti Aloka. They say that eternal. Eternal means what? I mean, there's no beginning and there's no end. And we as a devotee, we are always eternally, that means we are not worried about the past. Okay, whatever past happened. And we are not something that we look forward for the future. Because we know whatever past or future, our job is just simply going to engage in devotional service. Because every single day is a happiness for a pure devotee. All right. So the happiness derived from the material perfection or understanding oneself to be Brahman is inferior. Okay, it's inferior because it is temporary. Okay. All right. Okay, now I make it brighter. All right. So this is temporary. There is no preventing one falling down from this material happiness, and there's even every chance of falling down from the spiritual happiness derived from identifying oneself with impersonal Brahman. Right? Even say like we have achieved perfection of being merging into the light, we still have a high chance of falling down. And it has been also said that great Mayavadi sannyasi, very highly educated, sometimes what they do, they can say they almost achieve perfection, but still they like to get into this kind of politics and philanthropic work and all these kind of things. So that means they are falling from their spiritual platform. All right, then now let's look at mystic perfection. Okay, mystic means the person who wants to achieve mystic yoga. You know, they do all kind of severe penance, severe what they call meditation to achieve some kind of mystic. You know, because mystic means, in other words, you become like a magician. Okay, this is also a kind of sense gratification. Because just imagine if you can just do some magic show and imagine the amount of people that you're going to attract to you. There's so many people will be attracted to you. You know, it's a kind of name and fame. It is also a kind of showmanship. Just like sometimes the people like to become actor, actress, so they can have big attraction. And also they like to become a singer and all these kind of things because they want to have popularity. It's a kind of name and fame. Similarly, the mystic yoga. And now let's look at this. What is mystic yoga is actually all about? Now, mystic perfection achieved by actually successful yogis are 8 in numbers. All right. The mystic is actually by successful yogis and they have 8 in numbers. All right. Eight kind of mystic yoga. All right. Let's look at the first one. First one is called Anima Siddhi. Okay. So Anima Siddhi refers to power which one can become so small that he can enter into stone. All right. So this kind of siddhi, where they can become so small, so tiny that until they can even enter into a stone. Okay, enter into a stone. So they, for to achieve that, imagine the amount of torturous yoga meditation they have to do to come to this level of mystic yoga. All right. But now modern scientists improvement also enable to enter into the stone. All right. And even now the modern scientific improvement also enable us to enter the stone because they are provide for excavating so many subways. All right. What Prabhupada is giving, like excavating so many subways, penetrating the hills and etc. That means like making a tunnel. So like for instance, the yogi is created in such a way, they can go through the stone, means they can enter the mountain and come out that way. But what is the big deal? Even now in modern science, they have also created subways, tunnels, they penetrate into the stone and all these kind of things. So what therefore Anima Siddhi, the mystic perfection of trying to enter into the stone, has also been achieved by material science. Right? It's also been achieved by material science. Similarly, all of the yoga siddhis of perfection or okay, for anything, the siddhi means called perfection. Okay, siddhi means perfection. So similarly, all the yoga siddhis of perfection are material arts. All right, we can see a person who are so advanced, yogi, and some of you see, wow, if we think they are very spiritual kind of people, but we should understand this is also another kind of material art. For example, in one yoga siddhi, there's a development of the power to become so light that one can float in the air or on the water. I mean, they become so light until they can float in the air and also on the water. This is also performed by modern scientists. They are flying in the air and they are floating on the surface of water. And they are traveling even under the water nowadays also. Okay, submarine. After comparing all these mystic yogi, right? So when we do the comparison of all these mystic yogi, siddhi, yoga siddhi in materialistic perfection, we find that materialistic scientists try the same perfection. All right. So when we do the comparison studies, so it's what the what they call the yoga, the yogis are trying to achieve. The same thing, even the scientists also wanted to achieve that. Okay, they also wanted to achieve that kind of siddhi. All right. So actually, there is no difference between mystic perfection and materialistic perfection. So when we look at this, there's no big deal at all. They are wasting their precious life. Just give me a second. It's so bright. Okay. So there's no difference. No difference actually, the mystic perfection and also the materialistic perfection. So the mystic perfection, what we understand, the yogis, they are still under the material platform. A German scholar once said that so-called yoga perfection already been achieved by the modern scientists. So what he says, the so-called so-called yoga perfection. All right, that's a scientist says, whatever yoga things that you are doing, it's already achieved by modern scientists. And so that he was not concerned with them. He intelligently went to India to learn how he could understand his eternal relationship. So what he went, he's very intelligent. Okay. He intelligently went to India to learn how he could understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord by the means of bhakti yoga, devotional service. Of course, and this modern scholar is none other than Prabhupada's god brother, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's first Western disciple. All right, he's a German, and he came and wanted to find out he was not interested in all these kind of magic show, but he wanted to find self-realization, and eventually he have taken initiation from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. All right, okay, now, of course, in the category of modern perfection, there are certain processes which the material scientists have not yet developed. Okay, there is, okay, of course, all right. There are certain processes which the material scientists have not yet been able to develop. For instance, example, the mystic yogi can enter into the sun planet simply by using the rays of the sunshine. Wow. So what they do, they can enter the sun planet. How they travel? They travel through the rays. All right. They travel through the rays. This perfection is called lagima. All right, this is called lagima. Just now we took anima, and this is called lagima. Lagima means they can enter into the sun globe just through the sunlight. Similarly, the yogi can touch the moon with his finger. Okay, they can even touch the moon with his finger. Though the modern astronauts to go to the moon with help of spaceship, they undergo many difficulties, whereas a person with mystic perfection can extend his hand and touch the moon with his finger. This siddhi is called prapti, all right, or acquisition. Okay, there's a third thing of this. Okay, it's called prapti. That means you just put the finger, boop, he can just go and touch the moon. Okay, with this prapti siddhi, not only can be perfected mystic yogi touch the moon planet, but he can extend his hand anywhere to take whatever he likes. All right, just is not only can do that, but even he can extend his hand to take anything he likes. Say, like for instance, he's sitting in India, he feel like he just can extend the hand, maybe up to Malaysia, they just can take anything as he like. All right, he may be sitting thousands of miles away from the certain place, and if he likes, he can take the fruit from the garden there. This is called prapti siddhi. Okay, now the modern scientists have manufactured. Okay, the modern scientists have manufactured nuclear weapon. Okay, now we see that India and Pakistan both are just snarling at each other, planning to use their nuclear weapon. All right, nuclear weapon, which they can destroy an insignificant part of the planet. All right, they can destroy a big things. But in Yoga Siddhi, known as Ishita, one can create and destroy the entire planet simply at will. Can you imagine? Right? They are just talking about one nuclear weapon to destroy one part of the world. But now, if you have that Yoga Siddhi called Ishita, you can even destroy the entire planet. Okay? And there's another perfection called Vashita. That is, by which perfection one may bring anyone under control. So they can bring anyone under the control. This is a kind of hypnotism which is almost irresistible. Sometimes it is found that a yogi who may have attained a little perfection in this Vasita mystic power come out among the men and speaks all sorts of nonsense. So that means any yogi who achieve this kind of little perfection, even little perfection, they come out among the people and they speak all kind of nonsense things because they can control their mind, exploit them, take their money, and then go away. All right. So it's like that. There is another mystic perfection which is known as prakamya. Prakamya means magic. By this prakamya power, one can achieve anything he likes. For example, one can make water enter into his eyes and then again come out within the eye. Okay, that means put the water inside and they also can come out from the eye. Simply by his will, he can perform such wonderful activities. The highest, the highest perfection of mystic power is called Kama Vasayita. Okay, Kama Vashyam, Kama Vasayita, and this is also magic. But whereas the Prakamya power act to create wonderful effect within the scope of nature, Kama Vasayita permits one to contradict nature. All right, or in other words, to do the impossible. Of course, one can derive great amount of temporary happiness by achieving such yogic materialistic perfection. Okay, but now let's look at the fact. Foolishly, people who are enamored, I mean, they get mesmerized of the glitter of the modern materialistic advancement, the modern materialistic advancement, are thinking that Krishna conscious movement is for less intelligent men. You know, so sometimes we see whenever we go out and we talk to someone, especially when we were young time, so whenever we go and do some book distribution and everything, the way they look at you, just say that another loser in life, got nothing else to do in life. You know, the way they look at you, another loser who got no means to survive and is doing this kind of job or something like that. So that means they always think that we are the foolish one. We are the less intelligent one. All right. Because they are under the spell of glittering materialistic advancement. So they think I am better off being busy with my material comfort. This is quite funny, Yeah, example, like some of my cousins who come to Ipoh, they feel Ipoh is not happening. I say, why Ipoh is not happening? Because Ipoh, there's no jam. So that means to go and stuck in the jam on the road, it is something they feel like a material comfort. That means it's called advancement. to stuck on the road for half an hour, 45 minutes. When they come people, they say, how come I don't see any cars? I say, what the hell? I mean, what is this? All the cars in front is what? No, no, no. It's not like Hippo not happening like that. So these are the crazy people. That means they are busy with material comfort, maintaining a nice apartment, family, and also sex life. These people do not know that any moment they can be kicked out of this material situation. They don't understand. Any moment they may get kicked out. But due to ignorance, but because of ignorance, they do not know the real life is eternal. They do not know the real life is actually eternal. The temporary comfort of the body are not goal of life. All right, the temporary comfort of the body is not a goal of life. And it's due only to the darkest ignorance that people become enamored or mesmerized by the glittering advancement of material comfort, you know. So now when you see, they don't understand the real goal of life. The real goal of life. The real goal of life that everyone have it is, we want to be eternal. Right? Sometimes they say, oh, I'm working so hard, you know, I'm acquiring this property and all these kind of things. So my future, my children, my grandchildren, and they still forget that they are not going to stay or utilize the place forever because they are in the darkest ignorance. You know, ignorance means dark. Ignorance means dark because the brain is clouded by shadow. You know, say like for instance, there is a sunshine is shining here, but suddenly if I'm sitting under a huge banyan tree, or sometime when we go into the forest, sometime when you go into deep forest, you can even have pitch dark during the daytime because the covering of the leaf and the plants and the trees, it can be even pitch dark. Okay, pitch dark. So that means pitch dark means what? Because the leaves are covering the thing so badly until the sun cannot penetrate into that forest. All right. So that means what? So that means like that, the people's brain are clouded. You know, they're clouded with this kind of dense forest. So in the dense forest, so all our mind, our brains are clouded. We don't allow this intelligent or this kind of awareness to come into our brain, into our thinking system. We do not want to think. You know, the thing is, in life, when we see someone doing well in their education, we want to imitate them. Hey, look at that person did so well. Or I also want to do so well. Sometimes the parents do that, right? Look at your cousin, look at your neighbor, look at your friends all doing so well. Why can't you? Then you want to work for it. So there's a kind of competition. Then after that, get into a job. Oh, look at the fellow getting a high paid job. And look at yourself getting low paid. Sometimes what we do, we also, when we cannot work on it to go into a high paid job, sometimes we go to overseas or go to Singapore or migrate just to make that money because of competition. You know, because we are comparing, we are learning from others. We want that to happen. Yes or not? Then when they marry a beautiful girl, I also want a beautiful girl because I remember, you know, there's one person, I think the parents were looking for a bride for almost 10 years because he wants that girl according to what he was, something like that nonsense things, you know. So all these kind of things, but they forget one thing. They forget, hey, that fellow have died. And they don't know when the person have died, I am also going to die in the future. You know, they don't do this kind of comparative studies. They want to compare with all the wealth and all the success that person going through in life. But when the person leaves the body, he doesn't know why that fellow left the body. They don't ask that question. They don't ask that question. You know, when they go for a funeral and they go, you know, we always feel, oh, that fellow is so unfortunate. You know, he has passed away, passed on. But but the person don't understand. Sooner or later, he also going to go through the same situation. The ignorance of this material world, clouded ignorance, it is, we always believe nothing will happen to us. We always think we are safe. We always think, yeah, it happened to him, but nothing will happen to me. Okay, death will never come into my family. Or this kind of thing. So that's called ignorance. All right. So that's the ignorance. So that's why it's called darkest ignorance. Because they don't have the ability to use their thinking capacity. And that's why they are called as the less or almost no intelligent at all. All right. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has therefore said that the advancement of material knowledge renders a person more foolish. Okay, the person becomes more and more foolish. All right, the advancement of material knowledge, because it causes one to forget the real identity by its glitter. So that means that, see, all the material world is like glittering, like the light and everything. You see the Mercedes Benz, this glittering, your eyes will be glittering, it's a kind of thing. So we forget, to see the real identity. All right, this is doomed for him. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a doom for him. That means it's a curse for him, because this human form of life is meant for getting out of material contamination. All right. We just want to come out from this material contamination. Anything performed in materialistic idea, it is contamination. So by the advancement of material knowledge, people are becoming more and more entangled in material existence. They have no hope for being liberated from this catastrophe. All right. They don't have this thing come out from this catastrophe. So now when we see, when we look at this situation, like when the person were like very humble and this thing, they seems to be very nice. They seem to be very loving and everything. But as the person becoming more and more educated, they become more and more snobbish. And they become more and more non-friendly. They like to stay in a guarded property that they don't want anyone to be, they don't want to be disturbed, So the material advancement is what? Making people more and more foolish. They are even losing their moral ethical value. Okay. So they have no hope to be being liberated from this catastrophe. That's why they call it catastrophe, disaster. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the next words. Okay, as I say just now, 1:32 means, one means what? First ocean, Eastern Ocean, first wave, and verse 32. Yata Hari Bhakti Sudodaye Cha. Okay, it's coming from Hari Bhakti Vilas, all right? Yata Hari Bhakti Sudodaye Cha. Bhuya Piyache Devesha. Tvayi Bhakti Didastu Me. Ya Mokshanta Chaturvarga. Pralada Sukadalata. In Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, okay, in this book called Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, imagine the amount of research that Rupa Goswami have done. It is stated that Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee of the Lord, prayed to Nrsimhadev, half man, half lion, as follow: My dear Lord, I repeatedly pray unto you, unto your lotus feet, that I may simply be stronger in devotional service. So what Prahlad Maharaj is asking, begging Krishna, begging Nrsimhadev, that he says, my dear Lord, I repeatedly pray unto your lotus feet that I may simply be stronger in devotional service. Simply pray. So I simply pray that my Krishna consciousness may be more strong and steady. Right? So Prabhupada is saying, so I simply pray that my Krishna consciousness may be more strong and steady, because happiness derived of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is so powerful that with it one can have all the other perfection. By doing this, he can achieve all the other perfection. What kind of perfection? Perfection of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and even attainment of liberation from material existence. So they said, even if you become strong in your Krishna consciousness, all the other perfections are automatically there by default. They are given automatically there by default. So that means you have, if you think about religiosity, you will be very religious. When you talk about economic development, of course, there's no bad habit and everything. You'll be very successful financially. You don't have money to waste there. Sense gratification, yes, but your sense gratification becomes purified sense gratification, because you're going to use all your eyes, nose, whatever it is, for the service of Krishna. And after that, you even can attain the liberation from material existence. We have already read, even when you chant Namabas, all right? Even you can achieve the highest perfection in this material distinct. So actually, a pure devotee does not aspire after many of these perfections, any of these perfections. The pure devotee does not aspire, because the happiness derived from devotional service in Krishna consciousness is so transcendental and so unlimited that other happiness cannot compare to this. All right. So that means the pure devotional service in Krishna is so transcendental and so unlimited that no other happiness can compare to this. It is that even one drop of happiness. Now, Prabhupada is explaining, even that one drop of happiness in Krishna consciousness stands beyond the comparison with the ocean of happiness derived from other activities. Even one drop. Okay, let's continue. Moksha laguta krit. Okay, there's a moksha laguta krit. Manageva praruddaya hirdaye bhagavarato purushartastu chatvaras trinayante samantata. Thus, any person who has developed even a little quality, okay, if any person have developed even a little quantity of pure devotional service, even a little, can very easily kick out all the other kind of happiness derived from religiosity, religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and also liberation. So that means there is a little quantity, a drop of things that you are all enjoying. That's why your enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness is unbelievable, right? So there was a great devotee, Lord Chaitanya, known as Kola Vecha Sridhar. Okay, there's a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya known as, okay, Kola Vecha Sridhar, who was very poor man, very poor man. He was doing a small business selling cups made of leaves of plantain trees. All right. He sells a cup and plate made from the plants, the trees, right? And his income was almost nothing. Still, he was spending 50% of the small income on the worship of Ganges. And with the other 50%, he was somehow or other living. So Lord Chaitanya once revealed himself to this confidential devotee and Kola Vecha Sridhar and offered him opulence he liked. He offered him opulence. But Sridhar informed that Lord that he did not want any material opulence. He did not want. He was quite happy in his present position and wanted only to gain unflinching faith and devotion unto the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Even when the Lord comes and gives them, okay, this is the position of a pure devotee. Even the Lord wants to offer him, he refused. All right, he refused. He said, I just want unflinching faith to your lotus feet. All right. See, all that material happiness is derived from sense perception. Sense perception. For instance, okay, like Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu is a doctor. When he go and tell someone smoking is bad. Why? Because it's going to go and hurt your lungs and all kind of things. All right. But those person who enjoys smoking, he doesn't want to agree with Vaishnava Prabhu. Why? Because according to his sense perception, sense understanding, doesn't matter what disease is going to give it to me, but this thing is so pleasurable. All right. Some people say like for instance, like we are saying, killing a cow, it is extremely sinful. We don't even want to think about it. But for some, killing a cow gives them so much of happiness. You know, especially now Raya Haji is going to come anytime. No, this thing. Imagine how many cows they're going to kill around the world. Especially in Malaysia, I've seen the devotees. I mean, the people will have their own. They make their own T-shirt, right? The young boys all be like so excited. They put on Kru Korban. The masjid, let's say Kru Korban Masjid or something like that. Kru Korban. That means slaughtering crew. And they'll be wearing that and they'll be so excited and everything, looking forward, you know, for them. But for others, oh, it's so nasty and it's so cruel. So every one of us is enjoying and suffering. I mean, enjoying or according to the sense perception, understanding. All right. But you may wonder why the Sridhar, Kolavecha Sridhar, when he was offered such an opulent, he refused. All right. He can't see his condition, a dreadful condition. You know, he's trying to sell. You know that the pastime is, even he's earning little money, but Lord Chaitanya likes to go there and irritate him. They said, oh, your plate is useless, your cup is useless, you better give me discount. Already he's not making any money and he's simply going to irritate him. Until one moment, then Lord Chaitanya will start to reveal himself to him. Kolavecha Sridhara. So that means then after Lord Chaitanya showed his position, his original form, and he asked, "What do you want?" And he said, "I don't want anything. You know, I just want unflinching faith, like what Prahlad Maharaj prayed just now. Give me more and more desire for me to strengthen my devotional service to you." Why? Because this kind of happiness is coming from within you. It is not sense perception. In sense perception, there's so many things we want to enjoy in life. Enjoy car, enjoy house, enjoy this and that. Sense perception. But when you really see Krishna and this thing, it is your longing feeling. That is your original feeling. It's revived. That is beyond the sense perception, beyond the 5 gross senses, beyond the 3 subtle senses. It is your soul. This is your original reciprocation. So the original reciprocation can't be seen. Sometimes we also see even sometimes in material life, when a child gets into some kind of disease, or man, whoever it is, they are even willing to sell all their properties to save them. They don't care about everything. For them, they want that person back. We have seen, right? Even the doctor says no hope, they go for a second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion. Whenever they go for opinion, sometimes the cunning doctor will see, oh, this place is very desperate. Right? Let's try this new technology. Let's try this. And they need to sell the house, mortgage the house, take money from the loan shark. They're willing to do anything, sell all their jewelry, right? Just to get him back. So all the sense, that means all that property and all the opulence. So when they go and pray at that time, and Krishna appears in front of them, they say, no, look here, I don't care about anything. I just want that person back. Right? So that like that, okay? So that's the position of the pure devotee. The pure devotee, he doesn't have any kind of contamination because he's self-satisfied. Self-satisfied means what? He's not under control of all his senses. If they can be engaged 24 hours in each day, so now Prabhupada is saying, if they can engage 24 hours each day in devotional service, they do not want anything else. They do not want anything else, right? Okay, not even happiness or liberation of becoming one with the Supreme. All right, they don't want any kind of happiness. All right, so let's go to the next one. Yata Sri Narada Pancharatre. Okay, it's come from Narada Pancharatra. Hari Bhakti Mahadevya Sarva Muktyadi Siddhaye Muktyas Chadbhutas Tasya Cheti Kavat Anuvrata. In the Narada Pancharatra, it is also said that any person who has developed even a small amount of devotional service does not care a fig of any kind of happiness derived from religiosity, economic development, or any kind of liberation. Even a little drop. Even a person who has developed even a small amount of devotional service. That person can be anything. But when you really good, they are not bothered. Any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, any kind of happiness that derived from religiousness, economic development, liberation, and sense gratification cannot even dare to enter the heart of a pure devotee. Sometimes we have seen a person who is just like starting off in bhakti. All right, maybe he should be at least 10% devotee or 20% devotee. When they go to any Deva temple, any Devatas temple like Murugan temple, Vinayagar or whatever, they go there, they feel a kind of awkward kind of feeling. Maybe formally they could be a very staunch devotee of that particular deity. But after a little drop of devotional service, when they go there and they stand there, when they start to see, they cannot reciprocate with that deity and they feel a kind of awkwardness. They say, okay. They're like, no, and you cannot pray, you cannot say anything. Oh God, give me this, give me. No, you cannot even pray or what. You just feel like a very awkward position. You understand what I mean? Any one of you experienced that? Experiencing that?
Not yet, Prabhu. I haven't.
Not yet, huh? Okay. Vaishnava Prabhu Kesavan? Do you feel kind of awkward feeling?
Does it come with the question again, Babu?
No, sometime when you go to any other temple, being a devotee, when we go to some other temple, do you feel kind of awkward? You feel like you don't belong here, or you cannot reciprocate with the devas, deities?
I mean, I have not experienced it yet, Babu.
I mean, do you go to temple or not, other temples?
Long ago, Prabhu.
Yeah, lah, now you try and see, lah, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Long ago, yeah.
Uh,
Now.
because, Babu, one thing you must remember, Malaysian temples, like Murugan temple, Shivan temple, you cannot even see the deity because deep inside, dark in color.
Yeah. That's one thing, lah.
When they show the lamb also, it makes it worse.
Hmm.
Even you go to India also like that, but we cannot see the deity, Babu.
Garbhagraha. They call Garbhagraha.
Yeah. Deep inside, Babu.
Yeah. So like that. So sometime when we start to practice devotional service, when we go to any kind of Deva temple or any kind of other temples, you don't feel that kind of reciprocation feeling. All right. So it is stated that the personal attendants and maid servant of the queen follow the queen with all respect and obeisance. Similarly, the joy of religiousness, economic development, and sense gratification follow the devotional service to the Lord. All right. In other words, a pure devotee does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. They don't, okay? He does not want anything but service to Krishna. He doesn't want anything but only service to Krishna. But even if he should have another desire, if at all, if he got any other desire, the Lord simply fulfills that without devotees asking. You know, so sometimes it's quite I'm not sure, but in my case, I give you my personal experience. Suddenly I will have some money, right? Suddenly there's someone who's supposed to pay me back, they'll pay me back. Or sometimes suddenly there'll be students who will want to come for my training, and I'll get some money and everything. So once I get that money, you know what I will do? I'll keep it for 1 week, because I don't know why I got this money. So suddenly I feel my tire will explode or something. There will be some expenses. So Krishna is giving the money in advance because there's something that you need to spend. So therefore, I just keep the money first. Hey, I will do this. No. Wait, hold on. Just hold for a week. Maybe Krishna giving this money because got something is coming in the future. But sonna mari, something will happen. So it's like that, right?
Yes, I too experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Extra money come in. I used to wonder for what. As what he says, I used to have to hold on also. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That I understand, yes.
So that's why, but Krishna won't give you extra, lah. He doesn't want you to get he doesn't want you to get carried away with life. Just maintain that. So it's like that. Okay. So now let's look at the rareness of pure devotional service. Okay, before that, now it's 9:48. Shall we take a short break? Right, we take a short break. We meet again.
Okay. Can, yes.
Okay. Okay, we take a short break, then this thing. All right, so we continue our discussion. So now let's look at this, the next verse. Sudurlabha. Sadhanau gair anasangir alabhya suchirat api harina chasvadeyati dvidasasyat sudurlabha. The rareness of pure devotional service. Now let's look at this. How rare is this pure devotional service? Okay, in preliminary phase of spiritual life, all right, when you start beginning your spiritual life, in preliminary phase, there are different kinds of austerity, penance, and other similar process of attaining a self-realization. However, even if an executor of this process without any material desire, he still cannot achieve devotional service. Okay, and aspiring oneself, that means aspiring by oneself alone to achieve devotional service of Lord is also not very hopeful, because Krishna does not agree to award devotional service to merely anyone. He is the one who is not really interested to give the devotional service to anyone. Krishna can easily offer a person material happiness. He can easily offer a person with material happiness and even liberation. But he does not agree very easily towards a person engagement in devotional service. Okay, he doesn't agree for agree for people to engage in this devotional service. Why? Because it is a devotional service is the attempt when we perform devotional service, we actually arrest Krishna. We could capture Krishna and keep him under control. So therefore, Krishna doesn't give. Very rare. When you look at the history, like for instance, Dhruva Maharaj, young boy, he wanted a kingdom. And they said, you go to the forest and meditate. And that's when he went to the forest and Krishna appeared in front of him. All right. And he got that ecstatic feeling. But that is very rare. He doesn't give to anyone. But the devotional service only, in fact, be attained only through. You only can attain the pure devotional service only by the mercy of a pure devotee. Okay. Without the mercy of pure devotee, you can never get into devotional service. He's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 19, text 151. By the mercy of spiritual master, who is a pure devotee, and by the mercy of Krishna, one can achieve the platform of devotional service. There is no other way. Other than that, there's no other way. Okay. So, if you want to achieve pure devotional service, you have to accept a guru. All right. Because only by the mercy of a guru, somehow or other we are trying our best. No, we are trying our best to somehow or other we are going through this process. In this process, we are going through, okay, we are trying to chant, we are trying, but in order for you to become perfected, okay, if you want to achieve the pure, only by the mercy of a spiritual master. Spiritual master is considered a pure devotee of the Lord. All right. So without this, there's no way you can achieve the pure devotional service. Next verse. Tatra adyayata tantre. All right. Jnanata sulabha bhuktir yagnadi punyata. Seyang sadhana sahasrir hari bhakti sudurlabha. The rarity of devotional service also confirmed in Tantra Sara. All right. What is that? The rarity of devotional service. It's also mentioned in Tantra Sara. Tantra Sastra. The rarity. How rare. Where Lord Shiva says to Mother Shakti, said, my dear Sati, if one who is very fine philosopher, if one is a very fine philosopher, analyzing the different process of knowledge, all right, he can achieve liberation from material entanglement. Okay. By performance of ritualistic sacrifice, recommended in the Vedas, one can be elevated to the platform of pious activities and thereby enjoy material comfort of life to the fullest extent. But all such endeavor can hardly give anyone devotional service to the Lord. Not even if one tries for it by such process for many, many thousands of births. All right, if try for it, try this process, these processes in many, many thousands of births, you can never get devotional service. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it's also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj that merely a personal effort or by instruction of a higher authorities, one can attain the stage of devotional service. One must become blessed. One must become blessed by the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who is completely free from contamination of material desire. And just look at that. All right. So just look at this. So that means in order to achieve devotional service to the Lord, okay, that means like sadhana bhakti, like all of you are chanting, fasting on Ekadasi. That's fantastic thing. Second is chanting, like Mataji chanting 64 rounds on Ekadasi day. On other days, and Vaishnava Prabhu chanting 64 rounds. All right. Then who else here? Vivan also chanting, right? I think more than this thing. Oh, he's not here. All right. So, even Manikam is here. Okay. All right. So he also chanting and everything. So when we can get the opportunity to perform devotional service, just think, how fortunate are you? You know, even Lord Shiva says it's not possible. Even you can take thousands of births, try to achieve, cannot. You know, you if even if you you do this kind of studies, deep studies, whatever, just name it. It is very rare to achieve pure devotional service, or at least achieve to the platform of devotional service. That is why it says, in Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami also mentioning that even if it's a Kanistha Adhikari, a devotee who don't have well-behaved, well-mannered, still he has to be respected, because he is also the candidate of the rare opportunity. A rare opportunity. During childhood, a boy can be very notorious. During youth, the child could be a notorious gangster or criminal, but he will never remain a criminal rest of his life. I think we have also seen in our real life, a day will come, he will change. Okay, of course, there's some rare cases that they're criminal till their last breath. But I think, say one day if he marries a very capable girl, he gets a very good family, a good friendship, good association, he may give up. Eventually, as he get older, he'll be very sober. All right. I remember when I was in typing once, I saw one guy with a lot of tattoos in the body, right? Chinese, they call Abing. Abing means Chinese gangster. So then I was talking to another friend, I said, you know that guy, that old man with a tattoo? Yes, he's a big tyrant, right? He's a big gang leader. And today, look at him, he's very humble and meek. Some or other, a person will become humble and meek, right? The only thing that what he need to do is, he just need to have the desire to change. How the process? It's immaterial, only the little desire. So similarly, when we are engaging in devotional service, even we are engaging in devotion, we just with a little desire. You are not going to be remain here as Kanishta forever. You some or other going to improve. You some or other going to excel. All right? Because we understand as a devotee that this journey is journey that we have taken, that we are going straight back home, back to Godhead. The journey we are already granted visa of perfection. We have already granted visa. The visa has been approved. And this visa can never be revoked. There's no power in this universe can revoke your visa unless you revoke it yourself. How you want to revoke yourself? By misbehaving towards other devotees. By doing aparadh, you can revoke your visa. And that revoke of the visa also, it is only a temporary revocation. It is not permanently revoked. Maybe you revoke the visa, maybe for the next 1, 2, 3 birth, then you will be blessed again, because Krishna will create an opportunity for you to some or other meet the person that you have offended and seek forgiveness, because Krishna wants you back very badly. All right, as how stubborn we are, don't want to look at him, but Krishna also wants you back, but in a stubborn way. He doesn't want to come in front of you and says, my son, come back. He's just like a stubborn father. He has love for you. But what he do? He send his agents. All right? Like say a millionaire father who are very stubborn. The son also stubborn. The son walk away. The father don't go to him and fall at his feet. Please come back, my son. He doesn't do that. You go lah. Let's see what happened to you. But he's always constant for you. Then he sent his agent. Go and check out on him. How is he? All right? Is he okay or not? If he needs any money, any this thing, you just make sure you support him. Okay? So like that, he sent his thing. And sometimes his agent also make sure that he going to give him a lot of suffering, that until he cannot tahan, then he send another agent. He going to say, well, go back to your father lah. Why you need to suffer? Father, yeah. Okay, come, I'll take you. No, I don't think so. No, I will take you to him. No, I'll talk to him. He will definitely forgive you. So that person will take you back. So similarly, so Krishna is like that. That means he doesn't want to give you the direct mercy, but he sends his agent. And his agents are the pure devotees of the Lord. And when one of the agent that makes sure that he looks after you, it is the moon and the sun. All right. And all that rishis, all that, devas, the one who provides you air, water, ether, air, water, the food stuff, everything is provided to you, and you are under the spell, all right, Maya. So what Maya will do? Maya will make sure it shows everything seems to be right. This darkness, Kali Yuga, this material way of life is like so real. It is so real. I say, wow, so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I love this. So what she does? She let you enjoy and she will betray you. She will break your heart. Oh, look at my house. Oh, I am so successful. I'm living in a big bungalow. Suddenly, Maya will just take your wealth away. Suddenly, one decision that you make, she will influence you to make the wrong decision and your house will go on auction. Then you don't have place to stay, or maybe you'll become homeless, stay by the roadside. I mean, not you. I'm just giving a general statement. All right, the person go and stay in the roadside. And he feels so heartbroken. Oh, all the people are that betrayed me. So they will give you, all right? Then not only that, they will let you go and born in all kind of animal kingdom. You are just a newly hatched bird. Before you could even see the world, you'll be swallowed by a snake. A baby deer, right? Like what happened that day in Greek. You saw the thing, right? The mother and the calf were walking. Suddenly, the lorry went and hit the calf. The mother frantically crying and howling, save my calf. And she was pushing the truck. The more she pushed the truck, it increases the what they call the injury of the calf, the baby elephant, and baby elephant died. And the calf was screaming in agony. the elephant was screaming in agony. So before that elephant could even come and enjoy the body of an elephant, it got killed. And the mother who carries it for 2 years, because elephant pregnancy is 2 years, 24 months. After 2 years of labor and thinking, meditating about that, eating all the good food, and the calf born just within few months, the calf died. Heartbroken. So Krishna, the Maya will give you all kind of torturing in this all kind of condition of life. What is that torture? Sometimes we see, when we see a child, when we see a child get abused, they always get beating, palm, always scared, until one moment the child can't take it. Just turn back and says, you don't touch me anymore. Then the fellow who whack, say like the abusive father whack, he get a shock. Then he will just drop the thing and just walk off. Even like a bully case, right? In a bully, they keep on bully until one day the fellow turn back and says, you just retaliate, the person stop. So the Maya is giving you all kind of torturing in all varieties of life. Just name it. Life in an animal kingdom is so pathetic and it's so scary. If you don't believe, go and watch Animal Kingdom. Just go to National Geography. We are not to say we don't want to watch all this. You have to watch that to gain some experience. And also to appreciate your standard. Where do you stand? Appreciate. Imagine a bird who doesn't drink water, but it only drinks the water that falls from the sky. They call what chiku bird, bird. So in India, when the chiku bird comes to that kind of what chiku or
Chakora.
Huh? Chakora. When the chakora bird come to that village, the villager will be very happy because they know rain going to come. And imagine the agony and the stress that chakora bird goes through, because the chakora bird only drinks directly from the Rainwater, what kind of pathetic life it is that? There's so much of water body, it doesn't go and drink that water from there. And it always in anxiety and always in thirst. When the rain comes, he just open the mouth, and all the rainwater enters into his mouth. How much water can he drink? You know? So these kind of situation, these all find very pathetic creation. Pathetic creation. So these kind of pathetic creations are created, all kind of pathetic living entities are created. So that we as a human being, so that we can open our eyes and come to a constitutional position of what? Asking question. Why? Why all these things are happening around me? Why am I put into this kind of awkward position? Who am I? What am I? And what is my destination? What happened when we leave the body? We are talking about leaving the body. They say gone, gone, gone. That means gone where? So that means at the time of death, I'm going to leave this body and go where? Where am I going to go? Where's my destination? Still you don't listen, you still can't change, sent to hell. Right? They let you feel the pain in hell. You're conscious, you're not dead. In a conscious mind, you go through all kind of severe suffering, tormentation. And after all the suffering, then you're thrown into an abominable life. In that abominable life, you go through, I mean, the person goes through step, they evolve, halfway they get killed, halfway they get cooked alive. Just imagine how many types of death available in this world. All varieties, we have experienced it. We have died by beheading. We have died by hanging. We have drowned before. We were slaughtered alive. When we took animal body, we got killed. And we were also killed when we became the prey to other animals. When we became the prey to other animals. Right? I'll give you a good example. I have a pond in my house. And now I've got guppy fish. Guppy. So the filter was not functioning and I have no time to change the thing. So there is a body of water there. So to avoid mosquito from breeding, so I took some of the guppy from the water and I put it there. So the guppy will eat up all the mosquito eggs and everything. So make sure that people come and check there's no mosquito, to prevent dengue fever and all this kind of thing. So, these past few days, it's a scorching sun, right? Sun. So then I start to see that so I went to the filter. I was surprised to see the filter was totally dry. The filter is dried. Okay, dry. And there is some kind of algae stuck there. And it's not, I could say it's only have 10% moisture, 90% dry. 90% dry. Then I start to see, oh my God, what happened to all the guppy that I put there? Oh, fish all died, Then I saw the algae. So what happened? Okay, I think I better clean the algae. So what happened? I connect the thing. So I pour the water inside, all the algae will be washed out. And when I pour the water, when I take the water and start risting, suddenly the fish came back to life. There was fish that stuck in the 10% moist of the algae. And suddenly I saw all the fish back to life. I think they should stay in that condition maybe for a few days. Just then I start to wonder, what kind of life the small tiny guppy has going through. And imagine how it should be holding on in its life. Just with a little moist, by not changing, by not moving hard, by in other words, hibernating. So we gone through all that. So all the agent through the biggest trainer, all right, the corrector, the warden, it is Maya Devi. She have taken the ghastly. It shows all the beautiful thing about this material world. Then after that, she shows the ghastliness of this material world. Right? So we have to go through all that because we are in illusion. Just like how Krishna, he sent all these people, sent Maya Devi, sent all these kind of agent. And while in that process, he sent a group of devotees singing, chanting. When you are in so much in anxiety and pain, suddenly you see a group of people who are dancing on the street and feeling so happy. So somehow or other you're intelligent, because of your trigger, you go to that person and ask, why are you all so happy? You know? Then say, I am going through so much of pain. I've lost my house. My family left me. Now I am at the roadside. I am homeless. I've not eaten. I've not taken my bath. I am in such a miserable condition. Even thinking of suicidal. In this kind of frustration moment, I'm sitting. I see everybody around me all look frustrated. When I see an executive walk past me, I see, oh, once upon a time I was like this. Then I was just thinking, in the future, you're also going to end up like me in the roadside. I was just used to see that. I see everybody in pain. But when I see a group of people of you banging some drums, hitting on some cymbals, dancing and singing, when I see your face, you are so delighted. Why? And that person says, well, because we are Krishna devotee. What does that mean? When you simply glorify the Lord, you feel very happy. But I've lost everything in life. Then you should understand everything is actually nothing. There is something beyond this. You have not identified. Can you tell me more? Yes. Come. Before I talk to you, let's dance with me. Just repeat this mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just say, Hare Krishna, this is the card. Now you start to sing. Then there's some kind of things, happiness. All right. Will it be okay? Then the person say, will you like to join us? Can I join you? Yes. Don't worry. We will give you a shelter. We give you food, everything. Okay, come, I join you. You go there. You just say, don't expect anything luxury. We live as simple as we can. But our consciousness, we engage in pure devotional service. All right. So what I need to do? Go and shave up, wash up, clean yourself, get ready, come and have your dinner. Tomorrow, wake up at 4 o'clock. Wake up 4 o'clock? Why? Try and see. All right. Since I've got nothing else to do, let's try. Wake up at 4 o'clock, take a bath, cold bath, and do this tulsi, looking at the plant. Hey, why are you worshipping the plant? Experience it. Then after that, you chant the Hare Krishna mantra. As you go on, you start to have a huge transformation start to happen in your heart. Then what happened? That eventually you become a pure devotee of Krishna. This is what I'm still saying based on true life incident. All right. But of course, I paraphrase as a homeless guy. But this guy is a criminal. Right? He's a kingpin. He's a drug pusher. He's the king of drug pusher. Right? Like a mafia standard. The police found him. When they found him, they chased him, and suddenly there's a group of devotees who are singing on the road. He straight away went and joined the devotee, joined the group, and disappeared among them. So they all went back, came to the temple, and they saw this guy. Oh, new devotee. Okay. Welcome. So stay. They gave them place to stay and everything because he need to hide from the police. He was hiding. So then next day, he was asked to awake at 4 o'clock. He got to say, what? Wake at 4 o'clock? I have not got up at 4. Now you wake up. Then he woke up. Then he said, now I'm going to take bath. Heater? No heater. Cold bath. Cold bath. What is this? After the cold bath. Okay, then is there breakfast? Yeah, breakfast will be served. They say, okay. Then after take cold bath and come back. Now what you should do? This the chanting back and beats. And there's a plant. What is this plant? So wake up in the morning, go around the plant. Then after that, sit one corner and start to chant for 2 hours. Then you're sleeping the palm. Chant. Oh, you ecstasy chant. Chant. Then you wake up. Then after all this thing done, then you have to go and then prasadam. Prasadam or breakfast. After breakfast, oh, delicious. Then they drag him, let's go and distribute books. What does that mean? We go and distribute books. Like that, it was happening for what? Almost 3, 4 months, 6 months. Right? No, so almost a year. Yes, almost a year. After that, He couldn't take it. After that, he started to change. All right, he started to change and everything. I think, yeah, he changed. Then he went and confessed to the temple president. You know what? I came here because I was a criminal. Came to hide. And the president got a shock. He said, now I have to report this to the police. Say, yes, go ahead and do it. No, because we don't want to have the thing that we have been covering up the, what they call the criminals. Then call the criminal, then they call the police, policeman catch him, took him to the court and went to the court. And he said, well, you've been hiding with the Hare Krishna. Yes, Your Honor, yes. Right? No, sorry, he got frustrated actually. He got frustrated, he wanted to leave. Then he went told, he said, it's better for the policeman to catch me and go. I cannot tahan sitting in the temple. I cannot tahan. I cannot stay here anymore. Take me out. Then went to the court. The judge asked, so where were you? I was there. Then why did you confess? Oh, I can't stand them. Cannot. Tell me, what do you do? I have to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. The judge said, yes. Then I have to take a cold bath. Okay. Then I have to go around one plant for what? For half an hour. Walk around the plant for half an hour. Okay. Then I have to sit and chant some mantra for 2 hours. And I'm not allowed to sleep. Okay. Then after that, they give you a little breakfast. Okay. Then they drag me out to go and distribute books. I cannot run away. They hold my hand, say, now you go distribute books. Okay. Then after that, no lunch, come back home dinner. And they say, we are some kind of monk, cannot eat a lot. Eat so little. Then 9 o'clock, go to bed. Then sleep on the mat, not even a mattress. Oh, like this, I went through for 1 year. I cannot. Please take me out. Then the judge said, well, okay, by looking at all the situation, you are released. Then the opposite, the lawyer said, what do you mean released? He's a criminal. We're supposed to, like, the public prosecutor. No, we're supposed to, like, punish him. Why are you releasing him? And you know what the judge said? He had good punishment. No point putting in the prison. He had a good punishment. Therefore, you're released. Then he came out after some time. After a few days, 1 week, he started to miss that life. He was thinking. Then he went back to the temple and surrendered to the president and says, I would like to join back. He said, now you come back. And today he's one of the best devotees, best book distributor. I think you've taken sannyas or something like that. So that's the thing. So only by the mercy of a devotee, you can attain this kind of this thing. Only by the mercy of devotee. And some of you are so fortunate we are under the banner of Srila Prabhupada. Thank God we are not stuck in any other kind of bogus movement. There are so many bogus movements out there. And some of the movement are even recognized by the government, recognized by the psychologists, recognized as the best way of life. Like atheistic religion like Buddhism, Jainism. We are lucky we are not there. And the bogus movement, like the man who claim himself as God, like Sai Baba, like this, what they call Sadhguru, Prema Baba, like one of the joker in South India. Right? So thank God we are not entangled in all this kind of movement. We are on the authentic movement. We are so fortunate. So what we can understand from this, that we are actually the chosen ones. I'm not simply blabbering, because you were with me from the day one. You went through Nectar of Instruction. You went through Bhakti Aloka. You went through this is what they call Harinam Chintamani. And now you're going through Nectar of Devotion and also Bhagavad Gita. You are with me for the last, 130 over videos we have done. 130 over, because I don't know how many classes I've done. So I just see I've uploaded 130 plus videos. Say every video average 2 hours. Sometimes we do 3 hours. Sometimes we do 1.5 hours. Just make it average 2 hours. You are with me for 260 man hours of studying and going deep into this Shastra. Just name it. Just think about it. Right? So, how fortunate are you? Where do you stand? So, since you are very fortunate, don't miss this opportunity. Right? But somehow or other, whether you missed it or not, actually, it's not a miss. So, what we are saying, try to do it quickly. This birth itself. Try to improve yourself. Try to increase your japa. Try to be serious in bhakti seva. And you can stand a chance of going back home, back to Godhead. But still you missed it, it's still not a waste. Because you are already on your path. You're already on your path to perfection. So it is very, very rare opportunity that we have all this. So the next verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Dvitiya yata panchamaskande Rajan patir gururalam bhavatang yadunang Daivam priya kulapati kvacha kinkaro va Astevam anga bhajatam bhagavan mukundo muktim dadati karhichit smana bhakti yogam. In the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th chapter, verse 18, Sukadev Goswami also says to Maharaj Parikshit, he said, my dear king, it is Lord Krishna known as Mukunda, who is the eternal protector of the Pandavas and the Yadus. He is also your spiritual master and instructor in every respect. He is the only worshipable God for you. He's the only worshipable God for you. He's very dear and very affectionate. And he is the director of all your activities, both individual and familial. And what's more, he sometimes carry out your orders as if he were your messenger. My dear king, how very fortunate you are, because for others, all these favors given to you by the Supreme Lord would not even be dreamt of. The purport of this verse is that the Lord easily offers liberation, but he rarely agrees to offer sole devotional service, because devotional service is the place that Lord himself becomes purchased by the devotees. All right. In other words, the Lord become purchased, or in other words, the Lord become like as though he got arrested by the devotees. Okay. Now, let's look at the next verse. Sandrananda Visheshatma Brahmanando Bhavet Esachet Parardha Gunikrita Naiti Bhakti Sukham Bodhe Paramanu Tulamapi. The happiness of becoming one with the Supreme. Srila Rupa Goswami says that Brahmananda, or the happiness of becoming one with the Supreme, is multiple by 1 trillion fold. It is still cannot compare to the atomic fraction. It cannot be compared to atomic fraction of happiness derived from ocean of devotional service. What does that mean? So that means Brahmananda, that means the happiness of becoming one with the Supreme. When you merge into the like Mayavadi philosophy, merge into the Supreme. When you take that feeling and multiply it trillion times, the feeling of that happiness times by trillion, you still cannot compare with one little atomic fraction the happiness that you get by devotional service. Right? Yata Hari Bhakti Sudodaye Tvat Sakshat Karanalada Vishuddhabdi Stitasya Me Sukani Gospadayante Brahmanyapi Jagodguru. In the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, there's a Veda, Prahlad Maharaj says, why satisfying Lord Narasimhadev by his prayer? That means, while satisfying Lord Narasimha by his prayer, says, my dear Lord of the universe, I am feeling transcendental pleasure of your presence and have become merged in the ocean of happiness. I now consider the happiness of Brahmanda, all right, to be more than a water in the impression left by a cow's hoof in the earth compared to the ocean of bliss. So what does that mean? All right. What does that mean? Just give me a second. There's someone who's keep calling me. Just give me a second. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that I'm feeling transcendental pleasure of your presence and become merged into the ocean of happiness. That means, in other words, he consider the happiness of Brahmanda. That means the happiness of merging into this Brahmanda, it to be more than a water in the impression of the left, okay? Left by the cow's hoof. That means, the cow got that, when the cow walks on the mud, it creates a, kalpadam, that creates a small poodle. The சேத்துல கால் வச்சோனே அது ஒரு சின்ன இருக்கும் அதுல. So that the Brahmanda achievement, it is just like a little water in that small hoof. In compare to the ocean of bliss in bhakti. You all following me this? Any question? You got it, huh? All right. Now, okay. Tata bhavarta deepikayam tvat katamrta patodo viharanto mahamuda kurvanti kritina kechit chaturvargam trinopamam. Similarly, it is confirmed in Bhavarta Deepika. In Bhavarta Deepika, it's confirmed. Sridhar Swami commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, my dear Lord, some of the fortunate person who are swimming in the ocean of your nectar of devotion and who are relishing in the nectar of narration. Narration means narrating, learning, speaking of your pastimes. Certainly knows ecstasy, which immediately minimize the value of the happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, liberation. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. All right? It immediately minimize the value of the happiness. Right? Such a transcendental devotee regards any kind of happiness. Such a transcendental devotee regards any kind of happiness other than devotional service as no better than the straw of the street. This kind of happiness is nothing but just the straw of the seat. Okay. So any other question? Okay. Okay. So I think we stop here now because I think I got something urgent popped up. So please mark the book. Okay, better than the straw of the street. So that we're going to continue this on next week, Monday, on Nectar of Devotion. And tomorrow there's no class. Tomorrow there's a break day. So tomorrow is a break day. Then we're going to continue the class on. We're going to continue the class on Thursday, Bhagavad Gita. All right. So attracting Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam. The 5th canto, Srimad. This is the confirm the Bhagavad. Happiness.